Don't let your kids watch it!
Hello and welcome to Demasked. My name is Frezzman, and today I'm joined by a very special guest today. Please give a warm welcome to Creepy Castle. How's it going?
Not too bad. Just like steady, really. Just said it's been a chill day. Got a week off work, so it's just been chill.
So you're primarily a horror-based YouTube channel, yes?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, like mainly horror. But there's I do like abandoned stuff as well, which I don't really think is horror related, but it goes up anyway.
How long ago did you start your channel?
I worked it out the other day, and I think it's the 19th of July this month will be a year I started the channel. So yeah, 19th of July last year I started it. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I'll be sure to celebrate when that comes around.
I'm planning on getting a cake and a party out and everything.
There you go. So, let's see. What all do you have for your first video? Top 5 most dangerous dolls?
Yeah, that was the first one. It took me ages to figure out what to do, and I just watched, I think it was Annabelle the movie, and I thought, creeps me out. Let's do it.
Are you a believer in the paranormal?
A strong believer. Yeah, I've experienced stuff in mainly my childhood that it would make you want to believe, but that's just my personal opinion. But if you're a skeptic or out, it's whatever. But the stuff I've seen and stuff I've witnessed when I was a child, it was pretty out there, to be honest.
What'd you witness?
Well, I've done a video on this. It's called The Dotted Man, and basically I think we're about 8 or 9 years old, and the house we used to live in, there used to be like a mining town, and our house was built on top of the old mine. So basically, I was in my bed one night, and I was struggling to sleep, and I just saw my bedroom door just open, like normal. I thought it was my mum coming in. No. So a couple of seconds went past, and this, literally a dotted man walked into my bedroom, walked over to my bed, and sat on the edge of my bed. Now, I told my mum this, and she thought, oh, it's just a kid, just your imagination. But it kept happening for a month. Every night for a month. Just come in and sit on my bed and just look at me. So I just stuck my head under covers and just thought best but it usually about 10-15 minutes it'd just sit there and just stare at me. It was so strange.
For those of you at home, I will put a link to that video in the description below so you can check it out.
But along to go with that though, I had the idea of doing a video series. So I thought, well, this has happened to me. I was thinking of doing I've already done one part of it. Basically, I'm revisiting everything that happened. I'm gonna try and get my cousin involved in it. It's like a mini movie type thing, but all of it's based around what happened when I was a kid. So I thought, oh, that's a pretty good idea. But yeah.
Interesting. I see here you also, I believe, live streamed the Blair Witch game. Nice.
Yeah, that pretty fun game. That pretty fun game.
I've yet to play it. I've seen a couple people play it. I might have to check out your or at least the recording of the live stream.
Well, plan what? It's not the full recording, because the first time I streamed it on Twitch. And then I thought, oh, I might as well start a series or something out of it. And I think I got one recording into it, and then I just completed it off stream. So one of the things. But I'm thinking of revisiting it and doing a little mini horror game series on it.
There you go. So just a moment. Let's keep your recording going.
Yeah. There's
going to be some background noise real quick. Just some people in my house need to do some running around real quick. But then we'll bring it back. Commercial break, if you will.
No worries.
So, are you nervous?
Pretty nervous. But I think I'm getting more chilled. The more we talk, the more relaxed I'm getting.
Yeah, it's no It's no different than us just, shooting the breeze.
I think what I'm worried about more is not being able to understand my accent, because the British accent, after speaking to like other people like in America or Australia, stuff like that, and a lot of them don't understand what I'm saying, and I just find it really funny. That's all.
I recently had Eden V on, who's Australian, and from what I could tell, people could understand fairly well, and I can understand you, so I don't see why why the party people at home couldn't.
Really, but if you weren't conversations me and my girlfriend have, it's like talking like literally another language because of how it is. Because she's from like the next town over from where I was born, well, from where I lived, and like the conversation I'd be talking to, and she's like, "What did you just say?" I went, "Oh, sorry." So I break it down, and she's like, "No, I still don't get you." But that was like 7 years ago, like. But now she's practically doing the same thing. So.
So do you play a lot of horror games?
I used to. It's something I wanted to get back into. But one of my favourite games, it were all-time favourite horror game, is Outlast. Hands down, the best horror game ever is Outlast.
That's a good choice, because that, like, I appreciate I appreciate a game that takes its time with the scares. Well, I mean, once stuff starts picking up, then it's a scare a minute, but like that first 20 minutes, like almost nothing happens, and it's all just atmosphere.
It's so perfectly timed. It's unreal. Like I remember playing it for the first time, but I watched someone play it. I thought, oh, I could give that a go. It's not that scary. I was totally wrong. I was so wrong. Like when you first start like walking into the map, like the spoilers if anyone's like hasn't played it. When you first walk into the hospital, it's like, oh, this isn't that bad, and then it slowly builds up, and you're like, holy crap, I was so wrong. But like, I love the whole series, like the DLC, the number 2. I think they're bringing out a third one as well, if I'm right.
I hope so. I want the third one to tie together 1 and 2.
I think the number 3 is based before, if that makes sense. So it's like a prequel. I could be totally wrong, but from what I've read, it's like based in like the World War II time.
Okay.
But like I said, I could be totally wrong about that.
Well, what was the well, like, man, with the ending of like the Whistleblower DLC, that's an interesting place to leave off.
Yeah. Like the Whistleblower, I think the Whistleblower. I think that's, and it's gonna sound like really weird, but I think Whistleblower is better than Outlast 2. Outlast 2 would have been better off as its own separate game that does tie in with the other two, because I think Outlast and the Whistleblower, it's a great combination, but number 2 is like you go from a hospital to the woods. Like there's no bigger difference in that whatsoever. But Outlast 2 is so good. So good. That, Outlast, and Layers of Fear. Layers of Fear is such a great game.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh. Well, for Outlast, so I have a specific set of, like, fears when it comes to, like, stuff I just generally have trouble with, and it's, like, the dark.
Yeah.
And, so, like, the thing is, a good portion of that game, I'm totally fine. Like, walking around with the night vision, I can do it. But the minute you have to go in the basement and turn on the generators...
Yeah, I know what you mean. I struggle with dark as well, and I remember doing it, and I played it in with the lights off. So I thought, oh, glow at telly will be fine. It'd glow with the TV, and it would just, oh god, I just get chills with it. But saying that though, if it's all to do with the dark, heights is another one. I'm petrified of heights, absolutely petrified of heights. And even if I'm playing, I was playing the PS4 games, the Spider-Man game, And I remember climbing to the top of a building, and I looked down, and I just absolutely I nearly started crying. Like, why have I just done this to myself?
For some reason, I can do like extreme heights. It's weird because like I'm totally comfortable on like the top floor of a building, but if I'm like a couple steps up a ladder, I can't do it.
See, it's everything. Like ladders. It's another story. It's like I had to paint the bedroom when my girlfriend were at work, and I needed my dad's obviously ladders. And I looked at him, and I'm like, I can't do this because even if it's just like a few foot off the floor, I go to pieces, knees shake. I mean, I'm a big guy, like, and to see me shake, it's hilarious. My girlfriend, she will sit and she will actually wet herself watching me be petrified. I can't deal with it. Absolutely, I just really can't deal with it. It's so, oh no, like. Just before this, we were watching like point of view roller coaster things for some reason. I don't know why. Actually, no idea why. And I was screaming at the TV as if I was actually sat on that roller coaster. I just can't deal with it.
Oh, wait. I recently went to, or not recently, a couple of years ago, I went to a local carnival, and there's a ride that they have that. Allow me to describe this thing to you. So imagine a big, like, spinning, like a dinner plate with chairs attached to it, right?
Yeah.
But the entire dinner plate shape starts to then slide back and forth and, like, swing out over, like, the parking lot.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And I, like... When we got there and I saw that ride, I'm like, that doesn't look like that bad. And then the minute they're like, hey, let's go on it, I just started sweating. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll just sit here. Like, come on, let's go.
You look at it and go, it's not that bad. But then you like get on, it's like, yeah, this is worse. As soon as like strap you in, yeah, I want to get off.
You're immediately aware of like how tight the screws are in the chair that you're sitting in.
As soon as you feel that little give on the straps and everything, you're like, no. Get me the hell off this right now.
Please just stop the ride. I messed up my hands going on a roller coaster because I just like death gripped the bar.
You actually locked onto that bar like you was not moving.
Yeah, and I like it had to, of course it had to be the one with like the big loop-de-loop and everything.
Oh God.
And you know, it's always like I'm a big guy too, so it's always fun to the other people to see the big guy be scared.
Yeah. I feel you on that one. It's never a good feeling, but it's hilarious to everybody else. I remember doing it like when I was in school, as the end of year thing we'd do. We'd go to a theme park, and everybody knew that I never liked rides or like the high stuff. And this was like this was like a cable car that took you from one end of the park like to the other. I'm like, no, I'll walk, and they dragged me onto this like cable car thing. And I have never hooked onto a cage like a cage window so tight in my life. Everyone going like, "Yeah, look, just look outside." I'm like, no, I'm fine. But if you just look at this, I said I'm fine. Like I turn into an absolute demon. But I've never gripped anything as tight in my life. I think cage was just swinging about like, oh no, get me off.
Oh, oh my goodness. So that reminds me of a ride that I pray that both you and the party people at home haven't been on, and it's called the Ring of Fire.
I don't think I've heard of that.
So it's a roller coaster track, but it's one big loop-de-loop, one self-contained loop, and it just goes back and forth and gradually gets higher and higher up that loop until you were hanging upside down.
No, oh God, no.
And I was goaded into getting on there by both my friends and my dad's like, hey, I'll give you like $20 if you go on there. Now I have to do it. And I to this day, I swear that like the bar that holds you to the chair wasn't tight enough, and that I was thankfully sat right next to like a support beam bar.
Yeah.
And I had a death grip on that, and I'm like 80% sure I was holding my entire body weight just with my hands.
Oh my God.
Because you were like 50 plus feet in the air, upside down, and you can like see just concrete.
It's what I've always said to my girlfriend. If we were meant to do stuff like that, we would have been born with the ability to do it. That's how I see it.
Well, like, how do you do in airplanes?
Totally fine on airplanes. It's so weird.
Me too, right?
So, I think it goes to when you get on the plane, they're like, oh yeah, it's the safest way to travel. It's like, well yeah, but when you've been up all night watching, like, I don't know if you've heard of it, a movie called Final Destination. The first movie, the plane crashes. Now, again, when I was a kid, I watched that movie the night before I was meant to get on a plane. So you can imagine how that went down when my mum and dad were going, yeah, get on the plane. I'm like, no. Just get on the plane. No, did you see what I watched last night? And they were like, just get on the plane. Not happening. Next thing you know, I'm actually strapped into the chair and I'm like, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And it didn't happen. But my girlfriend, she has to take like tablets to help her cope with it. Not sleeping tablets, but they're like, I don't know what they are. But she
anxiety tablets?
Something like that, yeah. And
okay.
She told me because we've never flown together, but she told me when she was a kid that, you know, like you were on about death grip onto that bar.
Yeah.
Apparently, she was like that on the seats, like peeling the leather up, like nearly peeling the leather off the seat arms. That's how tight she was grabbing it.
So, like I mentioned, I can't do like minor heights.
No.
Like if I'm like 10 feet off the ground, it's too much. But I like totally fine in an airplane. But my dad's afraid of flying, which is the weird part.
That's weird.
But he gives me guff for not being able to get up a ladder.
You should say to him, here, I'll give you $20 to get on that plane. No, then it's all reversed.
well, no, like, it's because you know that moment when like they step on the gas, like really step on the gas right before takeoff.
Yeah.
I'm like, woo, this is fun, and I look over and my dad's like white knuckled, holding onto the armrests.
Like
and I'm like
pure terror and sweat just dripping down.
And I have like the window seat, and he's right next to me, so he can't not see the window. And I'm like elbowing him, and I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong, huh? Huh? What's wrong? What's the problem?" Oh, do you think there's a horror game out there that has dealt with the idea of heights yet?
I think somewhere out there will be like, but I think most of the games like now to do with heights, they're not. I don't want to say like scary enough, if you know what I mean. Like, if someone did a horror game in VR that dealt with heights, that'd be a make thousands. It would do so well because there's so many people like out there with the fear of heights. It'd do so well. But that's an idea of like. This is an idea coming from me right now. Is the height game in VR? Let's do it.
Oh,
let's just do it. Let's make it.
Just make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, do you know what would be a amazing place for a VR heights based horror game?
Go on.
The Zeppelin.
Yes. Yeah.
But you can fall all the way down.
Yeah, like you fall down, it's like total. It's just game over. Got to start way back from the beginning. Even if you've got save points. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, like if you if you like go over the edge, you actually have to fall all the way to the ground.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
Well, it's like splat and it comes up, game over.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm alright saying this, like, and I guarantee I won't play it.
Talking a big game, but when that game comes out, I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna play it. You're gonna see a video of me trying to play it and then just sweating through my shirt, just like, man, this game's great. I'm glad we thought of it.
It was like walking around. Yeah, this isn't so bad. Falls straight off the edge. I was so wrong about this.
I recently went on a hike up a nature trail, and there was a portion of the trail that it's just a sheer cliff, but then it falls onto like a steep incline. So if you fall, you are going down that hill. There's no
just one little trip and you're gone. But like a magic trick. 1 minute you're there, next minute you're not. Like straight down.
And I was walking on that trail with a buddy of mine, and they kept walking right next to the edge, and I'm like I'm on the other side. It's like a 10-15 foot wide trail, and I'm like sweating on the far side of the trail. I'm like, can you just come over here, please? Just, like within arm's distance, so I can grab you if you start to fall.
I think there's a cliff. I think it's about an hour and a half away from my house, and it's like on the coast, and it's a straight drop. Like you walk towards, you think the grass goes on for miles, but you get to a point, you look down. I think it must be like a 50-foot drop straight down, and it's like rocks and water straight on edge. It's terrifying, but I'm surprised there's no like bar or like fence going around it, because it's just, you look at it, it's like gone. But my girlfriend, she sticks her edge straight over. I just see me about 5 foot away. Get away from the edge! Do you want to die? Get away! Like I'll scream at her, idiot! Get away!
See, I think the ideal place for you, if you want to see heights without the option of falling off of them, is there's a place here in Oregon where I am called the Vista House.
Yeah.
And it's a big old circular building, and you can go up on the second floor of the house and just look down the what's called the Columbia River, and it's just beautiful. But there's no like sheer cliff to fall off of.
That's the thing though. When you look off play, like if you're somewhere high and you look out, it's like if it's really nice, like right conditions, like sunset, dark, or whatever the other one is, sunrise. If it's the right conditions, it'll look absolutely beautiful. Any other reason, just don't go there. As long as it's a good view and you're not going to die. They're the two conditions that I'll meet.
Just show up at noon and it's like, I think I'm here too late. Should have been here right when the sun came up, or right when it's going down even.
I knew I slept in.
I missed it. Now I gotta go home. So, do you ever go to, like haunted locations?
That's something I'm actually wanting to start doing. But the thing is with me, I'm extremely, like, I'm scared of everything, but I'll do it, if that makes sense. And I don't want to go into like a graveyard at like 2 o'clock in the morning on my own. So I've been trying to convince my cousin to come and do it with me. But I think it'd make absolutely great content with actually going out and doing like proper like ghost hunt videos. But it's like one of the things like my girlfriend won't do it. And my cousin's like, oh, I might do. I'm like, well, you're gonna. I'm not going on my own.
I want to do it, but I'm not doing it myself.
Yeah, pretty much. But my cousin keeps convincing me to do it. Like, he's got his own YouTube channel. I think he's called like Rotten Llama Productions, something like that. And he does all like these like murder videos, like true crime stuff. And he's like going, oh, well, maybe we can go to like a crime scene where this thing happened and you can do a haunting thing. It'd be great. I'm like, no. Because if Ghost comes back and he's going to stab me, I'm not going to be happy. know what I mean? But I keep trying to get my girlfriend. I keep saying to her, if I'm going to do this, I want. It's going to sound superstitious, but I want a little cross, like a little necklace cross to put around me, just something like protection or something. But it's just one of them things. Like, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it safely because I don't want anything like following me home. If that makes sense.
Exactly. Well, like, it's even like personally, like, how do I word it? It's not that I'm not superstitious, but I'm not willing to take the chance that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So
it's one of them. Yeah, go on.
Oh no, it's just like, it's 70% sure there's not a ghost in here, but I'm not willing to like get a Ouija board and test it.
That's one thing I would never do is a Ouija board. Never do it. I've seen too many films where bad crap happens with a Ouija board, and two, you never know if it's what you're talking to says what it is. If that makes sense. But let's say like demons are known to lie. That's one of their main things, is that they'll lie about who they are to get access to you. I think they're the right words I'm using. So like you could be on a Ouija board, it's like, who I'm talking to? I don't know, my name's Dave or something like that, or I'm like an 8-year-old girl who's like, oh right, fair enough, we'll open our arms to you, like we'll grant you access to us. Best way for the demon to come in. That's one thing. As soon as you get a demon, you're pretty much screwed, and they're so hard to get rid of.
Here's a free soul.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, oh my goodness, that reminds me. Do you watch like ghost hunting TV shows?
I watch Ghost Adventures, yeah, and there's a couple of others I watch. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. There's a minor, what's it called? There's a minor gripe that I have with just ghost hunting shows in general, but it's not like, ooh, it's fake. It's not anything like that. It's how, like, their approach to certain things. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like when they're doing the what's it called, the EMP readings.
Yeah, EVP ones. Yeah.
EVP. There we go. But when they have the recorder, the person who's asking the questions is talking a lot and not leaving a lot of room for the ghost.
I've always thought that. I thought if you're going to ask something, you leave the amount of gap or time in between questions for, like, as if you were talking to someone else for an answer, if that makes sense. Like, it's like you talk to us like, is there anybody here? And then pretty much a second later go, what's your name? Where you from? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no wonder ghosts aren't giving them an answer because they ain't got a chance to bloody talk.
Yeah, and even when, like, they do hear the slightest whisper, they're like, oh my god, did you hear that?
Yeah.
And, like, personally, if I were to try to go do EVP readings, I would ask one question and wait a couple of minutes, and then ask another question.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how I would do it as well, because it's like I say, nobody likes being interrupted. No one likes, like, not getting a chance to talk. So, like, leave a little gap between talking. Let them answer.
Stay tuned for the special ethereal episode of Demasked, where we talk to the spirits of the damned. So, what's hell like in just sitting in an empty room with a recorder? How do you feel about like ghost movies?
It depends.
Depends on what?
Well, my mum thinks I've got like a sixth sense for films. I'm a massive movie, like I'm a huge movie buff. I love movies, and my mum says it's like a sixth sense that I've got, where she'll put like a movie poster on TV and she'll go, "What's that one like?" And I'll go, "Oh, it looks alright." 90% of the time, if it's horror movies, 90% of the time I'm usually right. But there's one movie that she put on, and I think it's absolutely amazing. It's called Grave Encounters. It's like a point of one of them found footage ones. Usually I'm not a big fan of found footage ones, But that is absolutely great. Like that, I like Paranormal Activity. The first two were alright. After that, they got a bit, it was predictable now. But like most like ghost or horror movie in general, them type of movies, they're so predictable nowadays. You can sit there and go, like, something's going to happen. You guarantee, if you can try this yourself, you can look at something, you'll feel like the tension growing. You're like, something's going to happen in 3, 2, 1, jump scare. Like, I saw that coming.
Man, it's way too quiet in this room. Wait for it.
And then, he's like there. It's like, well, come on, I saw it coming. But ghost movies in general, like, it depends. You'll look at like I typically look at like the plot, the posters, stuff like that, and before you watch it, and you're like, is it actually worth watching? And then you'll see a trailer or something, and you're like, definitely not worth watching, because you'll just see how crappy the production and everything more of it, and like, oh, yeah, I know not to judge a book by its cover, like, but that book is actually terrible.
This book sucks.
Yeah.
So I used to watch the you ever watch a bad movie because it's bad?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did that with a good portion of the Paranormal Activity series. But there's one good scare in, I want to say 4. And it's when they're using the infrared sensors of an Xbox Kinect to see, like, movement.
Yeah, I know which scene you mean, yeah. They, like, set it up in the living room or something, and it, like, goes, like, there's some little dots all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah, they have the dots everywhere, but then there's, like, the kids playing, and they're running around, and you see something, like, moving behind them.
Yeah. Yep.
And like, the characters don't notice it, and that's what, like, spooked me, is that they're not seeing it.
Yeah. It's like I said, after, I think I got it wrong, that's number 3, the third, like, Paranormal Activity film isn't actually that bad. It's after that. I think there's one called The Ghost Dimension, I think. And I'm not gonna lie, it's so bad. It's so bad. Like, it's actually laughable bad. There's actually a scene where this girl's got, like, I think it's like a picture above a bed, and all of a sudden that picture turns into a door, literally goes to the Ghost Dimension, and then it goes through all the other films. It's like, seriously, out of all the ways you could have done it, you had to do it like that.
Well, like, the marked ones did a version of that was actually kind of trippy, kind of interesting, where a character, like, ends up in, like, the kind of occult house that has set up shop nearby, and they have this door that's covered in, like, you know, otherworldly markings, and he's running from this group of cultists, and he goes to hide in there, and he opens the door and steps through, and he walks into the house from the first one.
I think that's where I got it from. I think I've got my movies mixed up, but I know that other one I said, like, turns into a door, but I think I've got the past movie things mixed up with that.
Like, that's a, like, just that stinger, because, like, you know, with the Paranormal Activity movies, you see the inside of that house so often that you kind of memorize it. For you party people at home, I've lost contact with Creepy Castle. I'm not sure what's going on. I hope we're on the air soon. Future me, please leave this part in, at least. As an addendum, I'm not sure what's going on. And this isn't a bit. I'm not, like, you know, ooh, the call's haunted. He, like, disconnected, and I'm not sure what's going on. Like, I know it sounds like a bit, but, like, you know, I don't plan that far ahead. Is there something? My internet I'm still on, but he's not, and that is worrying. A little bit worrying. Hello?
Hello? Sorry, connection just went.
Oh, it's all good. Is your recording still going?
Yeah, recording's still going, yeah.
Fantastic. That means I could sync it right back up.
Sorry about that. Just, for some reason, you were halfway through, like, talking. You just went, zip, and I'm going, hello? Hello?
Well, I was talking to him, like, man, he's really quiet. And I'm like, is there, hello? Hello?
No, it was just, like, so strange. Like, I think it was mine, because we've recently got a new internet router. And I think it's still, like, breaking in or something, but it was just really strange. Like, I was just sat there like, hello? Hello? But as soon as you started talking about paranormal activity, it cuts off.
Yeah.
They don't want us to know.
This call's haunted. But as I was saying, you know, after you see one of those movies, you see the inside of, like, the characters' houses, like, so often and from so many angles, you kind of memorize it.
Yeah. It's like almost iconic in your brain. In a way.
And so, like, the first house, how it has kind of that, like, little island in the kitchen and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know which one you mean.
Exactly. And so, like, when I can't remember his name, but the main character in the marked ones walks into the kitchen and you see that island and, you know, the whole kitchen set up, you're like, wait a minute.
It's like, I've been here before. And you all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know where you are.
Oh no. I want to say, oh man, I can't remember for the life of me. I think it was the first Paranormal Activity where, so it was distracting to me at least that one of the, like, the main character, or the husband has a Master Chief helmet in his living room.
I don't think I noticed that.
I did, because I have that same one.
Oh, cool.
And so I'm like, like, the whole time they're like, there's a demon following you and all this. I'm like, Halo 3 Master Chief helmet, man. Like, I know exactly which one that is.
Yeah, stuff's getting thrown about all over the place. You're like, I hope that helmet doesn't get thrown.
Yeah, please don't touch it, ghosts, man.
I reckon Ghost went over to grab it, go like, hang on, that's Master Chief. No, go something next to it.
It's floating at head level throughout the house.
That'd be terrifying. You just laid in bed and this helmet just, like, floats into the bedroom like head height.
I was watching, I think it was Paranormal Activity 4, and I joked with somebody that I'm like, I'm expecting a skeleton to just run into the room. Like a completely clean skeleton, just like, ah!
All I can think now is that skeleton from... Have you seen Scary Movie 2? There's, like, this
Yes.
skeleton that gets possessed. And he's so crudely, like, running down corridor.
Have you see, I have your channel open. So when it comes to the subject of, like, stories about hauntings, like, how much of it do you believe, or is it really depending on the story?
It depends on the story. Like, it's got to a point where I've read about so many places where there's, like, claim to be haunted, and it really goes down, because I'll go and I'll research these people and I'll look at their so to see if how much of the sayings actually seems true, and a lot of it seems to be down like how much seems real in a way. I'm quoting real, because a lot of them just like say it's haunted for a bit of attention. But there's a specific house that is literally about 5 minutes away from my girlfriend's mum and dad's house, and it is known as one of the most. It's like Europe's most violent poltergeist, and it's literally 5 minutes away from my girlfriend's mum and dad's house. And I've spoken to people that have been in that house, and the people that have lived like the woman that lives next door to the house owns the house now, and like my girlfriend's mum spoke to her and stuff like that, and the amount of people that have said like the same thing, like the reoccurring thing, seeing like monks, this happens, this happens, this happens. It's like, well, they can't all be lying about seeing the same thing, the same stuff happening to them. Like seeing a black, a monk dressed in all black at the top of the stairs, battery cameras dying, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like
a skeleton chasing us through the hallways.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I want to do that now. I'm just going to go and say, "There's a skeleton running down there." I'm like, where? It's like, how do you know I'm not lying?
Or you do like this shot from Ghost Adventures where they're looking down a hallway. It's like, is anybody there? And you see like a skeleton on strings, like getting dragged across the.
I'm waiting for Ghost Adventures. You know when Zach goes, "Is anybody there?" You'll just hear in the distance, "No." And you're just like, all right, fair enough. Just carry on with it.
What was that one where it's like, show yourself spirits, and it replied like, "Do we have to?"
I'd seen that one. That's best answer I've ever heard. Do we have to?
I like the idea of a ghost just hanging out like, I don't want to talk to this guy. Oh.
That's best
cameras.
Best thing ever. Just goes like, show yourself. Oh, really? Do I have to?
So, if I remember correctly, the one of the camera guys on Ghost Adventures, Aaron Goodwin.
Yeah, no, Aaron, yeah.
If I remember, he lives in my state, in like I think in my town. But I follow him on Twitter, and he like just left like Lloyd Center Mall, which is down in like Portland, way down in Portland, and like I was on my way to Lloyd Center at that time.
Oh, that'd have been it. Just to get a picture of that. That'd have been it. I'd have done that. I would specifically drove down to meet him. That's how weird I am. That's how weird I am. But I follow Aaron. I follow him on Instagram. And just like a lot of art stuff, like weird, like conceptual, like art stuff. It's weird, really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think weird's starting to sound weird now. The amount of times I've said that, let's say.
Well, he like all of the people on that show seem like really cool guys. I'd love to talk to Zach Bagans because I want to pick his brain about certain things.
I'd love to go to his museum. He's got, I think is it Vegas? He's got his museum. I can't get mixed up between Vegas and LA. But he's got like he's got like a full on supernatural museum.
I want to go to the Warrens Museum.
Oh yes, yeah. That's a video I'm planning on doing. Is it's like I'm on about another series. I'm on about doing is Warren's most dangerous cases, and I'm going to focus on like the stuff in that room. So I really want to do an Annabelle one. There's like it's like filled with stuff that could literally kill you. I think that's the frightening thing about me. But here's the thing: I won't go anywhere high, but I want to go into that museum.
Well, was the what movie was it? Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah. Really good film, by the way. Really good film.
There's a lot of spirits in that film. There's a lot of stuff going on, you know?
Yeah.
But for me, it would be more terrifying if nothing happened.
Yeah. All this anticipation is like, oh crap, no, what's happening? Like touching Annabelle and all haunted stuff. Like, oh, all right then. It's like a 30-second movie. It's going to happen. Like, all right, that's it. Credit roll.
Or have the camera like follow the characters through like a normal night, like a normal sleepover. But as the night goes on, you notice like, wait, that wasn't sitting there before.
Yeah, like,
why is that over there?
Like build it in gradually. Like,
yeah.
So like a little bit at a time. But like a mix, like a touch of like Paranormal Activity thrown into like Annabelle. Like, what's that in the background? Did you see that shadow in the corners? Like stuff like that. That'd be cool. That would be pretty cool.
I want one ghost movie to just have a guy in a sheet.
Proper Scooby-Doo style.
Yeah.
I think that would actually be terrifying. Just the bloke just go running around going, ooh, all the way down an hallway. That would that'd be so terrifying. Like, why did you do it? I went, I wanted to. It's like we're running down, like fully eye holes cut out with sheet.
That's now that I think about it, that's a sterling video idea right there.
Yeah.
Just like you're doing a ghost investigation and you see a guy in a sheet run past, and you're like, was that, like, you're like looking at the camera guy like, was that a guy in a sheet? And then you both stop and go, who was under the sheet?
Yeah.
Like, we're both here. Who was that?
I think Paranormal Activity did something like that. I think it was is it the second one where the girl from the first one, they do them like as kids, and I think the mum sat in the kitchen.
I think so.
And like this sheet, she's like they've got the cameras, haven't they? And it like pans away and pans back, and like there's like a bed sheet there. But mum like rags it off, and there's nothing under the sheet, but the sheet was stood the same height as one of the little girls. So she pulls it off. There's nothing there.
Oh man, that reminds me. There's this future me in editing. Can you do me a huge favor and find a link to that? We both know what video I'm talking about. So have you seen that video of the dad, like playing hide and go seek with his daughter?
Yes, I know which one you're on about. Is it somewhat like that? There's like he thinks his daughter stood in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that. That is terrifying.
God. Oh well, like the first time I saw that video, I didn't even realize that there was a person in the corner because for some reason I just wasn't paying attention to that. And then she like pops up from under the sheets, like, "Hey, you found me!" And then like the dad's like, "Wait, what?" And like looks over and. Like, I hadn't realized that was, like, there was a person shape there, so when they looked over, I'm like, why is there a sudden, like, blank space there?
No, so as soon as he walked in, you know when you're like, you know you're looking for something, as soon as he walks in, clocked it straight away, I'm like, oh, his daughter's there, and then he went, I'm here, Dad. I'm like, what? Crap,
Wait a minute.
We're getting out of here right now.
Yeah. What was the... Did you see the one where it's, like, the ghost girl in the bathroom?
Is that one like the little girl what looks away and like the demon face like changes or something?
No, it's a really subtle one. Like it's, how do I put it? It's clearly fake, you know, but props to not relying on jump scares because I used to hate those.
Yeah. Growing
up. It's just cut to, you know, what's her name? Linda Blair from The Exorcist. And you know, but
Exorcist is a pretty good movie. It's in my top 10 horror movies. Is The Exorcist.
Oh yeah, I love it too. So it's how do I put it? It's a guy holding the camera. It's a first person thing, and he's in a house that he's like doing a paranormal investigation on, and it is dead quiet. And all there is like that gentle hum of like static. And he leans into a bathroom, and there's like a huddled shadow figure, like it looks like a little girl like huddled and like crying. And then it
sounds so familiar, but you know when you can't place it. Be like, I think I know what you're on about. It's like, but I just can't picture it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'll have to find it for you after this, but he leans in, sees that huddled mess, and then he leans back out, kind of looks around, and then he leans back in, and the shadow has, like, turned and is standing up and is facing him.
Oh, God.
And he, like, the guy just, like, and, like, backs up and, like, runs out of there. And it just, oh, my God. Like, it's so just, like, because you're expecting something like, you know, jump at you.
Yeah, I think that's the most problem. I think that's what modern horror films are actually done to people. Is like you're expecting something to happen, but there's nothing more frightening than silence. Just that's what's like my opinion. The scariest thing, silence. You can never predict it on like if it was quiet.
Yeah, like it's. Ugh. There was. Like, I'm not a big fan of, like, the idea of jump scares as a way of kind of keeping the viewer's attention. But if it makes... So, my least favorite kinds are the ones towards the camera, if it's not a found footage film. Like, have you seen Krampus?
Want a fan of it. I want a fan of Krampus.
You know, like, right at the end where all the toys, like, jump scare the camera?
Yeah, I know which one you mean. I know which bit.
It's that kind of jump scare that I can't stand, because why are they jumping out at what should be an empty place in space? You know what I mean?
You just look at like, you know, whoever made it just thought, yeah, you just throw it in there. Like we've got the budget for 10 jump scares, and they get to the 9th one, they're at like the end of the film, like, chuck it, fault credits, just chuck it in there. Let's have them off. But
let's just scare them right before they leave.
Yeah.
But there's a, I want to say a GIF out there. I can't remember I don't know what it is or what it's from, but it is unnerving because it's not a jump scare. It's not something suddenly coming towards the camera. It's something like running at the camera. And I'll have to find that one too, but it's like a shot of a normal living room, and there's this huge, like, horrifying thing just comes running out of a hallway at the camera.
Oh, that sounds terrifying. All for a GIF as well. There's a jump scare video, like, I think it was one of the first jump scares I actually saw when I was a kid. And it's this video, I think you might have seen it, it's like a car, like, coming down like a path, like this hilly road. Like, it's all green, and you're like, oh, this is actually really nice.
Yeah, the lady.
Yeah, and it just like, bleh, you're like, Jesus Christ.
My cousins growing up would show me, like, purposely find jump scare videos and then just sit me down in front of the TV and have me watch them.
Oh.
Can you see the teddy bear in this photo of a bedroom? Bah! You know,
there's a game out there, and it's like obviously one of them. It's like a maze thing, but you've got to use your mouse. And if your mouse goes into like the dark space, it's like it gets thinner and thinner as it goes on. And all of a sudden, you're getting closer to the screen, just something jumps out. But there's a reaction video I've seen that his brother got his little brother to play the game, and this jump scare came on, and this young kid was like proper like donkey punch his screen and puts an hole through monitor from being scared.
The photo, I remember it clearly because that photo used to scare me to death, and it's what looked to be a production still of Linda Blair in The Exorcist. But there's something so unsettling about that photo, and I can't figure out what it is. I think it's like the fact that she's smiling and staring directly into the camera.
He's like looking into your soul.
Yeah. Oh, like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie, I just looked over my shoulder. But
see, this is why I put my desk towards the door so I can see what comes in.
I had there's a video out there that I think is that type of jump scare done incredibly well, and it's like if I remember, it's called like Ghost in Rocking Chair. And it's like, I want to say a 1 to 2 minute video, and it's this long, it's a video of a rocking chair in the middle of like a living room, and you're watching it, and it's moving very slightly, and then it doesn't cut to the photo. There's somebody dressed up like that like crawls along the floor, and it's sped up.
Oh.
And she like crawls at the camera, and like her face is just up in the camera.
Oh. I can't think I could cope with that, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? This is the one time I'm not gonna put that link in the description. You're gonna have to find that yourself, party people, if you want to see it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I might put the link in like the Twitter post or something.
Yeah, do it. And everyone's like, "Oh, what's this link?" And then I'm like, "I'm gonna go cry."
All it says is for context.
Just put put the link in and put "Don't click the link," which will make people want to click the link even more.
I beg you, please don't click the link.
I think that's the best time for clickbait ever. But that's another thing, like people that clickbait like on horror videos, like I've just seen like 13 ghosts and they did this and they said lie, and you're like, it's just like a 13-year-old boy with his camera in his back garden talking to it, and you can hear like the birds like chirping in the background. Like, did you hear that? It's like, no, behave, go to bed. You're 13, just shut up and go to bed.
There was what was the so do you ever watch Adult Swim?
Yes. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Robot Chicken of the Adult Swim bits.
Me too. I like Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
But I so how do I word it? I love the bizarre integration of horror into Adult Swim.
I haven't really watched that much horror to do with Adult Swim. I just like watch the Star Wars stuff all the time because I find it absolutely hilarious.
Like in between episodes they'll have their little like cutaways and all that.
Yeah.
Little like the cards that say, hey, check out this or what have you.
Yeah.
Or they're telling a joke. Well, one of them, I remember it from years ago because it scared the daylights out of me. And it was, it's like how to tell if you're a ghost. 1, you're intangible. I'm like, that's kind of funny. It's like, 2, like people can't perceive you. I'm like, okay, yeah. And it's like, 3, this scares you. And I'm like, what do you mean this scares me? And a face like, ah!
Oh.
Like, and like it was like 3 a.m. when I saw that.
Best time to watch stuff like that.
I just,
I did a 12 days of Christmas type thing, and I was doing it alongside my cousin, and I didn't end up finishing it, like, cause it just got too much for me. Like, it was like a video every day for 12 days.
Yeah.
And I made an intro for it. This was my first time using like green screen effects, and I had it started up. I think yeah, there's still, I've still got them up. I think I've got a Krampus one as well. But the intro of it was like Santa flying through the sky, and then all of a sudden this big bloody hand just goes up and slaps the screen straight away.
So you mentioned that. I was watching one of your videos earlier, and that scared the piss out of me.
But I was sat there and I was making it because it was like the first. I just learned how to do green screen effects and stuff, and I'm like, well, what's one thing I could do to like scare people? And I was sat there and I was like looking through it. It was like stock green screen footage of just a bloody hand. I thought, yeah, this could work. And I put it all together, and I like, well, who can I test it on? Well, I know my girlfriend, she didn't really find out like that scary, so I just sent it to my cousin, and he went, "Why did you put that hand in? Scare the absolute like." Well, he didn't say like crap, but he used a very very strong worded swear word. Like, why did you scare the crap out of me? I'm like, this is absolutely great. I'll put it on. It was great.
Well, like it. So that I think that's an effective jump scare because it's not loud. It's just like the sound of like hand hitting glass.
Yeah, but I think best part about it was that you don't expect all like that on a Christmas style video.
Yeah. What was the So like one of the things that creeps me out, like that I have a hard time with, is people staring at me.
It's my girlfriend's same. I was doing it to her. I think it was the other day. She was just like sat watching telly. So it sounds creepy what I was doing, but I know it scares her. So I was just like sat like staring her out from like across the room as she was watching telly. But I'd gone proper like wide eyed and everything, and she was like turned around and she absolutely screamed herself. It was amazing.
That's not cool. Oh.
I found it funny.
Well, that's the worst one for me. Is the thing is like every time I tell somebody in person about that, they immediately try to like do it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so the thing is, it doesn't work if I'm talking to you, or if I know who you are, and I know that you know that bothers me.
Is it like if it's like a spontaneous thing? If someone just starts doing it like way out of context? Like
if I'm on the bus. Yeah, if I'm on the bus on the way to work, and I like out of my peripheral, there's just a guy burning a hole in the side of my head. Because I've had that happen, and the thing is, like, I'm a big guy. I shouldn't be worried or afraid, but, like, I'm just like, what do you want? What is it?
I've had it happen to me. I were in the car, I think it were a couple of months ago, and I was going to pick my girlfriend up from work. Mm. And I was at the traffic lights, had windows down, music on, not as you usually do, and I'm just sat there, and all of a sudden this old woman is just staring at me from this bench as the traffic lights are going. Like, I pull up and she's just like proper eagle-eyeing me. I'm like, all right, then I'm like looking at her in my head. Don't make it obvious you're looking at her because she might say something like, just like looking at like, look, she's still doing it. You just sat there, lights go green. He's like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, I gotta go. I accidentally did the stare down to somebody, and I feel terrible about it. Because, like, see, the thing is, when I'm on the way home from work, I'm not thinking about, like, what direction am I staring in today? It's like, I'm listening to music and I'm trying to stay awake.
Yeah.
And I was staring out, like, I was sitting at one of those seats that are, like, sideways, so you're staring out the side window.
Yeah, I know which one you mean, yeah.
And I'm spaced out. I'm not perceiving anything in front of me.
You're like in your own little world type thing, like, just chilling, you're just, like, out there.
Yeah, but usually when that happens, for me at least, I become, like, really still, and I don't move. Like, I just become a human statue. And so I'm listening to whatever podcast or whatever thing, and I realize that for like the last 5 minutes, I've been staring directly into the eyes of somebody outside of the bus. And I can tell that he's getting creeped out because I don't have an expression on my face. I'm completely... But, like, he's talking to his friends, and I keep seeing him, like, glance at me and going back to, like, talking to his friends. Like, kind of the checking to see if I'm still looking.
And I don't know what I'd do. It's like, if it was that what happened to me, I'd like, what's he actually looking? I was like, look around and like, oh, crap, he's looking at me. It's like, oh, no.
Well, the thing is, I love a good old-fashioned awkward moment. I love them. I live for them. And so I'm standing there and I realize that I'm staring at staring into this guy's soul, and I internally I'm like, oh God, I've been looking at him for a really long time. I'm like, I better just not blink until the bus moves. Like, don't move a muscle and don't blink until the bus starts to move.
As the bus drives away, just like turn your head so you're still like looking at him as the bus drives away.
I was so tempted. I had my phone in my hand. I was so tempted to, like, while staring at him, slowly raise my phone. Like I'm taking a picture. But, like, don't change my expression at all. And I couldn't do it. I'm like, you know what? It's already scary enough that I'm staring directly at him.
Poor guy. Oh man.
I'm not a terrible person, I swear.
It's awful that though when you zone out and you're like, you know yourself. I haven't moved, but I'm not gonna stop. I can't stop now. It's like dead eye, and someone's like, I've been looking at them for 10 minutes. I can't stop now. Just like I'm gonna keep looking at you.
I've had moments where like, man, I have been holding still for a really, really long time. I better move in some way just to like, because like I'm convinced that somebody's watching me and then they're critiquing me. So I'm like, you know what? I better just shift in my seat just a little bit. Look alive.
That's another thing that like gets to me is like, you know, when you feel like you're being stared at in the middle of the night and you know no one else is there and it's like you just feel like you're being watched. Like I've had, like I swear my house is haunted because there's been a couple of times but I think it were about a month ago. Like I was laid in bed and I just woke up and I just had this feeling that someone like staring at me. Like, from where my bed is, I can like see out of the door and onto the hallway, like where the stairs are.
I can't do that.
And we've got like this bend. It's like whereas like banister is where a stair is, there's like a little sharp corner.
Yeah.
And there's been a few times where I feel like I've seen out the corner of my eye like a little head pop around and then pop back. Now it was the same place where I've seen this like little head like knock out and then knock back, and it just feels like someone like staring at me. Like I'm too scared to turn over, but I'm too scared to move. Like, let's just hope and pray that this thing actually, go away. I want to sleep here. I'm up in like 2 hours for work. Do you mind? You could have timed this like, well, it's Friday tomorrow. Do it then. You know what I mean?
I can't personally. I can't sleep with my door open.
See, we have to because with little dog like she sleeps in bedroom. She's got like a little bed on the floor, and we keep doors open for her. So she got all the water and the food downstairs, and we just got to. Otherwise, if it were up to me, them doors would be shut.
Yeah, and I'm like, I mean, God, now that I think about it, I have a hard time having doors open, like if I'm in a room alone. Like right now, my bedroom door is shut, and I know for a fact that if it were open, I would keep looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
But like,
it's one of them weird things. I think it's like just like one of them instincts. Is like, what's there? I'm just gonna keep looking. And if you could see me now, my head's going like 10 to a dozen. Like, what's there? Have you seen the movie Resolution?
I
don't think I have.
So it's a very simple and self-contained horror movie, and I very much enjoy that. But there's a moment that how do I put it? There's a moment that has no bearing on the overall story, but is terrifying nonetheless. So like the entire idea of the movie is that a guy is trying to help his buddy get clean and like off of whatever drugs. And his plan is to chain his friend to the radiator in his house, and so his buddy like sobers up and he doesn't leave and goes and gets more drugs. And so he's like camping out in his buddy's house with him while he's trying to sober up. And there's this moment where they're sleeping at night, and the main character kind of shifts and he kind of wakes up a little bit and he opens his eyes, and in the window across the house there's a person just looking in the window.
That's terrifying.
And like smiling, and the main character freaks out, and the person doesn't leave, they just stand there. And like he's like, what the hell's that? And then they get the crackhead dude is like, oh, it's fine. There's like a psychiatric hospital up the road. People wander out from time to time. They're harmless. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And that person is never seen again.
Yeah.
But like that,
terrifying.
Yeah, and I used to be afraid of stuff like that when I was a kid, and now that I saw that, I'm like, yeah, people could just do that. Like, and that bothers me, honestly, probably more than it should. But, this is a one-story house I'm in right now, so, like, anybody could just lean in and look at my window.
Well, I'm on the second floor, and I know if anyone's head like popped up from the outside like window, I'd proper like freak me out.
That is the true reason to panic right there. Ugh.
It's like right now. I'm just looking out my window now, and there's a guy like stood on the path, and he's just like looking around, and he's just seeing me like pointing like outside, and I think he thinks I'm pointing at him.
There's a skeleton out there.
Oh, God. I'm gonna have to do a video on this skeleton. Just like get a green screen skeleton, just have it run across the screen, just out of context, just have it run across the screen.
If I ever start directing horror movies, I'm gonna like put a skeleton in every movie, but it has no bearing on the story whatsoever.
Best. That'd be great.
We've accidentally summoned a demon, and you just see a skeleton like trying to like creep its way across the hallway in the background.
Tell you what would be terrifying: having a skeleton do what a person would do, like making a cup of tea, like trying to do the normal stuff. Was like, well, you're not trying to kill me, but you're trying to drink tea. That's the terrifying part right there.
So, have you? Are you perchance a fan of wrestling?
Not particularly, no.
So, I used to play those like WWE games when I was younger.
Yeah, I know which ones you are. Like my cousin that we were on about earlier, he's really into his wrestling. He loves his wrestling, absolutely loves his wrestling. So he'll love this part when he hears it.
So I made a character some years ago, back in like 2007 or something. And he, like, so the idea is that it's a skeleton wearing a, like, Uncle Sam outfit.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Like it has, like, the big top hat and, like, the tailcoats and everything.
Oh, I bet it looked absolutely amazing.
And,
With
like,
top hat.
I don't know why, but that imagery is hilarious to me. And so like I was an edgy like kid, so I made that character, and he's got a cool like trench coat with the American flag on it, and the character's name is Justice, and I've been trying desperately like in the last like year or two to remake him in every game that allows you to make a skeleton character.
That's it. It's like a tradition now.
Yeah, now I have to. I have to make me, and I have to make Justice. And I hope future me finds that photo, because I have a like pixelated photo from the PlayStation Portable, the PSP.
PSP back in there.
Yeah, right.
It's almost as like nostalgic as PlayStation 2. No, the PlayStation 2 was amazing.
Oh,
loved that.
Area 51 with David Duchovny.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh, do you ever watch X-Files?
I think I tried to watch it when I was younger. I think I'd watch it now, but I think because I watched it when I was younger, it like put me off a little bit. If that makes sense. It's like I know for a fact I'd like it, but then I always think back to that bit when I was a kid. It's like, oh yeah, I'll watch. It's like, well, you didn't like it when you were a kid. Why would you like it now? I'm like, shut up, younger me. I'm gonna watch it.
The main actor, Mulder, the tall black-haired fellow, he voices a character, the main character in Area 51 for the PS2.
All right.
And I very much recommend that game. It's great. It's a weird game, but like in a good way.
I'm pretty sure there'll be like a playthrough of it on YouTube somewhere. Well, there will be, won't there?
Yeah, or future me, here's a hint, maybe we can do it. Maybe the once in future me. Oh man, like the way horror is represented in video games is like, well, I mean, of course it has to be, but it's interesting how smaller, like, inconsequential things in a movie are like more effective in a game, and because you're interacting with it. You know?
Yeah.
Like something as simple as a coffee mug getting knocked off of a desk is, whatever in a movie.
Do it in a game, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, in a game with like your headphones on.
It's like I think it's different to a film because you're actually immersing yourself like in the game. Like if you've got like the surround sound headphones on, then you know it means business. Then if you, so I think I did one once, and I think it's called Emily Wants to Play, which is absolutely terrifying. I do not recommend playing that.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And I heard something like knock. I'm like, what was that? And like you go and explore, and it's one of them things like you wear a knock in the films. Like, yeah, I'm not going over there, but you've got to in the game. I think it's one of them things. Like I'm just going to rant about Emily Wants to Play for a little bit because that game absolutely scared the crap out. That game made me not like horror for a month. Mm-hmm. Seriously, it absolutely terrified me. And out of everything I've seen and everything I've watched, it's that stupid game that frightened me.
Have you ever heard of Fear?
It really sounds familiar.
I want to say it came out in 2008. I want to say. But so there are parts of that game that still hold up in terms of atmosphere and just, like, so I played it back when it came out, and I was scared witless by it because it's got all the things I'm not a fan of, like complete isolation and the dark and all this.
Yeah, I was watching your interview with Hurricane. You mentioned something about you having this fear of like total isolation.
Mm-hmm. And,
well, like I said, that were a great interview, by the way. I really, really enjoyed that one.
Well, thank you. I had a blast. And link in the description below, party people.
Party people, yeah. Down below.
Yeah, check it out, please.
You have to. I once did a video, and you know when you can look on YouTube and you can see like your percentage of subscribed and your not subscribed viewers.
Mm-hmm.
I did a little. Well, I did all my recording. I was editing away, and I was like, beginning of this video, I need something different. So I went and recorded this bit, and it went, if you're not subscribed, do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it now. You're gonna click it. You're gonna like it. Just like threaten everybody to like subscribe.
Maybe consider subscribing. Cowards.
I think I went through a phase of like doing, if you don't click subscribe, you're going to be cursed for the rest of your life, or your demons are going to drag you under your bed and devour your soul and stuff like that.
Like you point over at the green screen skeleton, you're like, don't be like him. Subscribe.
Yeah. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to have to do that.
Don't be like him. But like that first Fear game, it takes so long for stuff to go south that it's just like,
it's almost perfectly timed in a way. It's like not all at once.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, for a good portion of just the opening of that game, you're walking alone through, like, I want to say it's like an abandoned office building.
Yeah.
And like just the most minor of like, I can't see into that shadow. I don't know what's in there. And like you run into some enemy soldiers, and it's like, what I find interesting is like, there are enemy soldiers in that game, but they are far and away not the scariest thing. It's Well, same with like Outlast. So like Outlast 1, I had a moment where I didn't have much trouble playing it, except for, the basement. But
It speaks for itself, just the basement.
yeah, because the minute that door opens and it's just a wall of black, it's just like, oh, man.
Yeah. It's when it's a wall of black and you've got no batteries left for your camera. It's like, I'm really screwed here. But then it's the idea of like, I'm in darkness, I'm in water, there's a lunatic out there. It's not really going well for me at the minute.
Well, past that part, the game is, I mean, it's scary, don't get me wrong. It's not like, ooh, I'm so tough. But, it's scary, but it's not affecting me like that one part. But then you play, like, Outlast 2, which, from what I hear is, for all intents and purposes, less scary. But me in the dark, in a field, alone.
There's just something about it that's actually pretty scary.
Yeah, just like there's that like first 10-15 minutes where you don't even see another person until you get into town. That was the most heart-racing part for me, because I'm just like, there's gotta be something after me right now, and I don't see it.
I think there's a game. I played a game again. I'm terrible with horror game names. Like, there's obviously the ones that have stuck out to me, like Outlast and Lies of Fear. But I remember Blockbuster being a thing. I remember Blockbuster and renting the games out. And I played a game when I was a kid, and I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. But it's if you stopped and looked to the back of you, something would come and get you. It's one of the things that. I did it, and I think I took it back to Blockbuster the next day because I knew I wasn't going to play it. I played it the once like, "Hey Dad, can you take it back for me?" I think I must have been about 8 years old, something like that.
There was this So you ever hear Goosebumps?
Yeah, Goosebumps. Yeah.
So Goosebumps had a point-and-click adventure game back in the early 2000s or even the 90s, I think.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I'd play that. I love Goosebumps.
Yeah. It was called, like, Return to Horrorland or something like that. But there's a moment that haunted me throughout my years, and it's you're getting chased by a werewolf.
Oh.
And it's like, how do I word it? The effect for the werewolf is goofy. It's a guy in a suit, you know what I mean?
Best ones, best kind of scares. You see a guy in a wolf costume, it's like, yeah, they can do it right.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the context in which you see that is terrifying, because it's like you're kind of, it's from a first person perspective, but you're kind of clicking to, like, move. It's kind of like Myst, you know? But there's a moment where you run into that werewolf, and the other character's like, "Run! Let's get out of here!" And you have to, like, click the right path. And if you mess it up, it, like, jump scares you.
That sounds ass.
And, like, that, like, oh my god, that image in my head of, like, little, like, 6-year-old me, just like, ah.
I think watching Goosebumps when I grew up, I think there's the one thing that petrified me, and it's carried over to, like, me now, is Slappy the doll. And I am absolutely petrified of dolls. Like, my great grandma, before she passed away a few years ago, she used to collect, like, the little porcelain dolls, you know, the little pop dolls. And she had this, like, section I think it's on, like, an apartment, like, in America, but it's like a little flat, what we call it. It's on a flat over here. And there was, like, this section of about 150 baby-sized pot dolls, and the eyes literally followed you across the room. And it absolutely petrified me. But I think I've said, it's like things that petrify me. I love, if that makes sense. Apart from the heights thing, I think it's like an adrenaline rush type thing. But I've been trying to I've been trying to collect like an Annabelle doll, like a real, like a life size Annabelle doll. But my girlfriend, she won't allow me. Like, I want to get like Chucky and Annabelle and all them ones. But if it were up to me, it's all I'd spend my money on is like horror memorabilia. Like, I'd get Chucky, I'd get Annabelle, I'd get a life-size Pennywise from it. It's stupid, but she got a little doll a few years ago, and I think they're called like Night of the Living Dolls or something like that. And it glows in the dark. Just this little doll. And she was still living at her mum and dad's at the time, and we were just it was pretty dark outside. So we shut out curtains, like we're watching a film, and I just see this like thing in the corner of my eye. I'm like, what's that? And I just see like this green, like straight face, just like staring at me, and I've never jumped so high in my life. Never jumped so high. Thing is, though, she's still got it. When we moved in together, I purposely took the doll, put it in a box, put it in another box, and I've put it under bed.
I had, what was the I forgot. Oh my god! Like, so like, ventriloquist dolls, for some reason I can totally deal with.
Have you seen the movie? I think it's called Dead Silence.
Yes. Ugh.
It's a great movie, by the way. It is a really good movie. But it's just absolutely. I think I saw it first time I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and it was just. I think it was a clip of the old man. I think he was like in the crawl space of the house, and that bit just. I blocked my phone and I threw it straight across the room. Oh, what was that? And our girlfriend goes, "Well, what's up? What's up?" Thinking of like falling or something like that. And I was like, so I showed her it. And she went, "You're just a wimp, aren't you?" I went, "It's terrifying. You're just a wimp." And she just stood there like proper laughing at me. But I think what's frightening about Dead Silence is the mouths of the doll, like that human doll thing, you know, with like slit from like the lips down to the chin.
Yeah.
I think it's that bit that frightens me, because naturally jaws don't work like that. I think that's. I know what I'm trying to say anyway. It's terrifying.
I had this what was it? I used to know somebody who had this hand puppet that was like this black. They had like black fur and like big bug eyes and everything. And for some reason, like a good amount of people in the house were afraid of it. And the thing is, I'm a fairly good ventriloquist. Fairly good.
If I'm right, if I'm thinking right, I think I know what you did. were you like throwing your voice for these dolls so it like petrify everybody?
Well, no, like I jokingly like I put my arm in it and like was making jokes and everything and made it look like it's sitting on my leg. And then I think it was my ex was sitting like across the room, and I'm making it talk and doing a goofy voice, and then I have it stop talking, and they just slowly turn the head to look at her. But I'm like looking in a different direction.
I can see that going down well.
And I'm just like, man, this show sucks. And just like, and stopped and slowly turned the head. I wish I had one of those. I would love to have a dummy.
Well, there's an art shop, because obviously my girlfriend, she's really into all like her arts and crafts and stuff like that. And there's like a shop about 15-minute drive from here. And as you get to like the checkout, there's like a full like stand like full of puppets and hand puppets. But it goes from like the kids' goofy ones, and you get further down, it's like the proper like professional, proper dummies. I'm There's loads, absolutely loads of them. I remember standing there with the crocodile one, and she just looked at me, she went, put it back. I went, I want it. She went, put it back.
But I want it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like the little, if we go out anywhere, I'm like the little kid in this relationship. It's like, she's like, put it down. I don't want to put it down. And like, I think we were out once, and she went, Luke, come on, we're going. I went, stranger danger, stranger danger. She's like, Luke, you're older than me. I'm like, I need an adult. Like that bit like that Family Guy mom. And I need someone. She's trying to attack me.
Like, I want to start a collection just to scare people of ventriloquist dummies.
Yeah. Do it, cause I'd love to see it. Cause I know it's scare me.
Like, I'm just imagining, like, inviting somebody to my house and, like, hey, what's in this room? Like, please don't go in there.
How you could do it, you just have like a rocking chair and the dummy just sat in, like or a doll sat in the rocking chair, like Annabelle style, but have like a little motor underneath the rocking chair to make it move.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Or have it attached to a string attached to the door, so when you open the door, it like starts floating.
Yes.
I've just figured out how to never have guests come over. I think with the plan to ruin my social gatherings from now on, we will bring this hero interview to a close. Creepy Castle, thank you so much for coming on. I had a blast talking to you.
It's been great. Thanks for having me.
Please, party people at home, please go check out Creepy Castle. Links will be provided in the description below. Creepy, do you have any videos that you would want in the description?
Any of them, absolutely any of them. I'm an open book. Choose what you want. But my most popular one is actually to do with the puppet anyway. It's the puppet head video. It's got like over 3,500 views. So.
All right, I think we'll put that in the description. But hey, thank you very much for stopping by, and thank you very much, party people at home, if you stuck around to the end. And like I said before, please check out Creepy Castle. Really cool stuff. And
sorry to interrupt again. I've also got a vlog channel as well. I've been time lapsing this interview during we've been during it. So that'll be going. Like time lapse will be going up. If it's all right for you, if I use the time lapse footage, that's all. Of the interview.
Yeah, go for it. What is the vlog channel, so I can link that as well?
It's linked in my video descriptions. It's just my name, just like Luke Castle. And it's just like a vlog channel, really. It's just like, yeah, I'm positive it's in. If it's not in the link in my descriptions, I'll message you it on Twitter.
Sure thing. All right. I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful morning or evening, depending on where you are. Thank you again, Creepy Castle, and I will see all of you next time, and I hope you have a nice day.